really pivotal moment in this. Seems like Prodigy Esports can just run off that with such a momentum-based team.
Oh, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, Prodigy, they're known for being able to work off that momentum. They've done so already in the event so far. And when you're cold like that, like the Rebellious squad was, it's going to be so difficult to get back into this series.
Search and Destroy, game number 2 on Retaliation. We saw Rebellious clutch up against Garlic Bread in a stunning victory over them in the losers bracket. Now we're moving forward. Can Prodigy hold fast and take a second game, or will Rebellious continue the run? Tie things up. Fellas, take it away.
Nothing too different in that rig draft. Overdrive for the guys over at Rebellious, and just a Centurion for Prodigy. I think the one thing to take away from that is Claw is still using FTL, and I think that is awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see whether he can't pull out another play. It's the same map.
Yeah, he's on the same
saw.
map. Like, if I see him, like, you know, in the top bedroom with FTL jumping like a 1v2, I am expecting an insane, if not better, clutch.
Oh, he has to. But looking at, that Centurion coming out in replacement for the Overdrive, I mean, Curry, we look at this thing, it's definitely helpful in those uplinks and those hard points, defending the hard point and obviously defending your base with nades and stuff, just being absolutely eliminated. But how much of a factor does it play in a Search and Destroy when the rounds are so short?
Well, Chilean did so well in that hard point. He was not only getting a large amount of kills, but having big impact plays. Granted, they didn't win the map, but we got to try and find a silver lining in it.
Yeah.
And I think the silver lining is Chilean's. If he can start off as strong in the Search and Destroy, get some early kills, and get that Overdrive, even maybe some score streaks, who knows? He's proven he's used it effectively. During that rotation, back in the hard point to get spawns for his team, he popped it, he ran, he got the gunfight, and helped his team. I wouldn't be surprised if he does the same thing in the Search and Destroy. He's just got to come out hot.
Well, do you think then, in that regards, that the Overdrive is more beneficial than the Centurion in Search and Destroy?
If used effectively, absolutely. It's got to be on a player who's having a good series, and Chileans needs to ride off the performance in that hard point. Can't let the fact that they got beat get into his head and just be like, hey, I played a good map. I'm hot. I'm not missing these shots. I can do this again. And in Search and Destroy, it's great because it's one of those game modes where, like, if one player does exceptionally well, they can completely win their team that map.
Yeah, well, we see Chilean do that time after time. He has been carrying his team this whole tournament long. Let's see if he can't get the support of his teammates going into this one. Let's start off with Chilean. What is he going to do off the rip? You see in your mini-map here, it's sort of a 4-4 split, very much so going towards middle of the map. Chilean, he's in top bedroom here. He might be able to get behind some of the players just down on the lower street. If we swap over to Hope, you see where he's about. He's just jumping up. You saw him there. We'll see him again poking that and just sort of prodding with Chilean, teasing him a little bit, tickling him.
Prodigy, just want to tickle the guys over at Rebellious, maybe just try, and that definitely did tickle, that hurt. Chilean gets dropped, and looking towards Plat, there are going to be a few players from Rebellious, the final two wanting to challenge, but Squizm just drops him in a heartbeat. They've spotted him, and that is it. Easy.
Easy.
That was easy, to quote Prodigy. So I'm not sure if you guys heard that, but it was apparently easy.
Apparently easy, yes. Almost a team ace there as well. Hope he got 2 kills, Killapie with nothing to speak of.
No kills for Rebellious.
Yeah.
Interesting note there that no one was able to get those gunfights. Prodigy did, went straight for the aggression, straight down the middle of the map, and got that bomb plant quite quickly.
Yeah.
Rebellious, maybe a little bit of panic, a little bit of nerves. They can't let them impact them. Losing the first round in Search and Destroy is a huge thing, especially after losing map 1, and then having your star performance player die for the second time as first blood. That can't be what Rebellious need to focus on. Riggsy does answer back, though. Clean headshot on KP.
A good start for him. He's going to get the smackdown and the headshot onto Hope. Reducing this now to a 2v2. Make that a 1v2. Squizm, the man who screamed easy. The man on a mission to prove himself worthy of being a top-tier competitor in our scene after having recently, very, very recently turned 18. Is going to be up against Chilean and Rixie. He gets the experienced player of Chilean. Now it's a 1v1. Rixie's got the bomb. He's going to be rotating away towards A by the looks of things, but Scrism, he's playing so patiently. This is so nice to see from what is, relatively speaking, an inexperienced player.
He's the one player you don't want to go up against in a 1v1 in Search and Destroy, let alone
insane.
like a 2v1. Yeah, he was, watching him in the Unveil Nova series, he was winning every single 1v1 engagement he had, and that was on Retaliation, on the bridge area of the map. Guess where Riggsy is, and guess where the bomb has been planted?
It's A, and it's Scrism's playground right now. He's going to be coming up from behind. If Riggsy isn't careful, he could get flanked from behind here. He's just going to be watching that mid-cut. Scrism, the timing working so much in his favor. He's going to come around the corner, spot the player.
Wow.
That is just Call of Duty timing at its finest.
Oh, yeah,
shots
boy.
fired! That's what we want to see here. Scrism getting hyped and Prodigy going up 2-1 in that 1v2 clutch.
Wow, and he's also managed to pick up one of the score streaks, is basically 2 kills away from getting more. What a start by Prodigy. And when I was like, oh yeah, 1 player remaining from the team of Prodigy, this looks like it's going to be the map. It's like, it's Scrism. Oh no, this could be clutched.
Yeah,
like that's the
GG.
mentality that you think when you watch him. You know, the numbers are against him, but it's like, nah, that natural talent and raw gun skill that he has can completely flip any moment.
Here we go. Hopey and his squad are going to be on the aggressive side. Once again, that wall run nearly working out in Hopey's favor, but Killaby, he's going to go down as first blood. And Scrism, the key player of this team, dropped almost instantaneously by Beeston. And that's the start that Rebellious want. They need to cut out these key players, and they're doing it one by one, finally getting some kills. Hopey last alive in a 1v4. Now, I wouldn't put it past him to be able to win these against slower teams and maybe amateur teams, but against a team like Rebellious, I don't really see him winning this round.
Yeah, look, a 1v4, when you got the guys from Rebellious having good shots like that, not much they can really do, and what a way to answer back, especially after losing a clutch situation. It's not ideal to be like, oh, we got the bomb plan, we got the numbers, and my God, they somehow got the round.
Well, finally putting themselves on the board, Rebellious here. They want to repeat what they did in the last series, in that Game 5, on this map against Garlic Bread, and...
You know what I want? I want to see the sniper rifle broken out by Gydra. I was watching him during the Unveil Nova, and he was hitting some absolutely filthy shots. Wouldn't be surprised if in the later rounds we do see that broken out, trying to get those first picks, but at this stage, it is just going to be a standard quick push towards B for the guys of Rebellious. Bomb goes down, and it's not going to be a gun that kills Claw. It's a terrible motor vehicle.
Well, we always talk about the cars in Call of Duty. They love blowing up at the most inopportune times, but they can be used to your advantage, of course. If you nade it out, you can use the car to explode your opposition here. But now, right, Chilean, he's trying to get behind the players from Prodigy, and as soon as I say that, the other two go down. He's in a 1v4 himself, finds the first one, so a better start than Hopey had, but couldn't gun the second. That is going to be Scrism there. Once again, the man that we've been talking about so much already, getting that kill. He's so close to that reactive armor. He does have a Scarab to work with in the next one, but let's see what Gydra is going to be getting from this defusal halfway towards his active camos. So I would have liked to see them give it to Scrism so he could get that reactive.
Yeah, I wouldn't sweat because I guarantee he's gonna get more kills. Like it's not.
That's true.
Like there is not a chance that he's 6-1. Like I doubt that at the end of the series they're gonna be like, oh, you only end up getting 6 kills. The thing I wanted to bring up, though, was Scrism in that third round dropped very quickly, as you said, almost instantaneously. Wasn't able to get those score streaks in the end. Would have been good to see that. Like, a lot of score streaks throughout this weekend have been gained in Search and Destroy. Not used as effectively as we would have liked. Chilean, though, gets that first blood on Killer Pie. Scrism wants to use the one thing he gained from that crazy 6 streak, and is just going to do a bit of scouting for his team.
Now, it was an interesting play that Rebellious made. They sent 3 down A straight towards the bridge side. Meanwhile, Prodigy, they were all in the middle of the map here. Gydra, he's got the bomb on patio. Spots a player coming around the corner to contest him. Gets a nade out, but 2 contest. Not going to be able to win that one. And we're back with the man, the myth, the legend Scrism, who's now in a 1v4. Can't actually get that kill there. Outgunned, outplayed, and now Rebellious get their second round on the board.
Yeah, good to see Rebellious bouncing back after what was a very convincing first 2 rounds, and clutch up by Prodigy. Clean shots by Claw. He's had a good weekend so far. him and the rest of his team. They want to make a statement here in Championship Sunday. They, of course, are in the losers half of the championship bracket. If they lose this series, they're out. That's it. That's done for their weekend. That is the pressure that is on... Yeah, GG no re, basically. That's the pressure that's on these guys' shoulders to perform, especially for Prodigy. Hopi, in that interview, said they have high hopes. They're talking grand final. They're not kidding around. They're not like, yeah, we'll be happy with the top 4. No, we want to go the distance.
And this is insane from a team that has so recently formed into what it is right now. But Rebellious, they get a very quick plant down on towards A. They're in a 4v4 retake situation from Hopi and his squad. One player, Gydra, is going to be on the flank here. He might have spotted out Beaston. I don't think he did. Chilean, though, in behind enemy lines. He'll get spotted from behind, takes some fire, but gets out with his life. He's contesting here. Wait,
no.
Is it Hopi, please?
What? Yeah, unfortunate Beaston's positioning. That should be, quite an easy defuse. And Beaston, not much he could do. He was kind of relying on his teammates to defend that bomb. He had set himself at the far side towards Broken. Not much he can do in that situation. Good read by Hopi, though, to just instantly jump on that bomb and go for the defuse.
Well, his teammates straight away, within about 2 seconds, got 3 kills, and Beaston was down by himself. You're not going to be able to win those sorts of situations when you've got 3 players watching on for the diffuser. But that is the way the cookie crumbled in that round. Now into round 7 here. We finally got the scope out from Killer Pie, and it's a thermal one at that. No one, though, going to be contesting him down this A street. Potentially, he could rotate over and watch the lower street, but that will take some time before he's able to engage in a gunfight there. 4v4 still. Gydra himself has the bomb, and Claw, he's just trying to hold down these hotel hallways.
Gydra is so close to that B. He wants to just plant it down, but with no picks gained, not much he could do.
It's dangerous.
How often do you see a sniper rifle going for flanks?
Please, please.
Hey! Easy kill there by Killer Pie. I don't think Riggsy was expecting a player to be behind him, let alone someone with a rifle in his hand. Second player, pistol in hand, tags him up quite nicely. And he's got to watch out that they don't re-challenge. He's got a teammate supporting him from behind, but good shots taking out Claw, who is definitely not an easy player to outgun. Good job by Prodigy. Great read by Killer Pie, not spotting anyone on the bridge, pushed through, and has made a big impact for his team. He's now in a 1v1. He's the player that's performed very well in this round. Can he clutch up and bring them to a 5-round count?
Beaston, the last alive for Rebellious. Only 18 seconds remaining in this one, and Killer Pie has to get the bomb down soon, or he faces losing this one. He's going to potentially rotate towards A. Beaston, he's gone through that section of the map, so he's probably thinking, well, he's got to be on B here. He goes for a pre-fire, nothing going to happen, and now with only 1 second, I don't understand why Killer Pie... he chased the kill, but he didn't have any information.
That's something that we've seen a fair few times throughout this weekend, where teams are just not kind of paying attention to the score, or the timer, should I say, and they're put in these situations. It's like, oh, we got 15 seconds and it takes 10 to get to the bomb. I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. Just maybe a little bit of careless mistakes, but in the end, that's, hey, Rebellious, they'll take it. They're not going to complain whatsoever. Heading towards the new round and the B bomb site, they're looking to level this one up and bring it 4-4.
Rixie, he's going to throw a nade out underneath that garage door. Doesn't find a tag, as I believe Gydra just jumps over that one, predicting it with his 6th sense. Chilean, he's going to be just watching over.
Who is that? Who is that? That's Gydra. Can we watch Gydra? That is so sneaky by him. He spots one. He catches him with the grenade in his hand. Claw does drop, and now he's surrounded by a bunch of the players. Spots another one. Nice 2-piece. Gets his payload in the process. And Beaston stuck in the last one alive for his team. Clutch kill, though, as he drops. Gydra doesn't get the second kill, though, and Prodigy are on track to get map number 2. They're riding the wave of momentum that they got in that hard point. James, if they get the next round, do we expect to see Squizum and Hopi stand up and just give it to the boys of Rebellious?
There's no doubt they won't. There's no way in hell that they will not stand up and give it to them. They will put it in their face. But now, let's look at the scoreboard here. Gydra and Squizum both have their payloads. Squizum with that reactive armor and Gydra with the active camo here. They have 2 of the most important ones here right now. But we will swap over to Chilean because he's so close to his overdrive. Can he keep going here?
Oh,
no, Squizum comes in. A 2-piece. That reactive armor popped there. It is going to get traded out though. Rixie now last alive in a 1v2 for his life. his team's life here in this search and destroy. He has to play this one passively. Don't allow himself to get flanked by one of the Prodigy players. Gaidra, he's still got that active camo. He could just pop that
and
once seeing him. And that's
hope
it.
he just picked up his
Centurion
Centurion by getting that plant. So he's got that on the bomb side. Whether or not Riggsy has any equipment, he doesn't. So it's going to be a little bit useless, but the EMP radius that it does give will affect him. But it was Gaidra's active camo. He just needs to get the call out. He's going to pop that, and as soon as he spots him, look, he knows exactly where Beast is. Active camo is used, and it will be an aggressive push coming in. That is just read like a book there for Prodigy. He was in such a tough situation. You couldn't see him clutching up, unfortunately, especially with that active camo in the hands of Prodigy. That's just such an easy way to finish off a search and destroy.
Corey, you called it. They read it like a book, and that was one that the boys on Prodigy read cover to cover. Left that one by the toilet to rot away into the annals of history. Guys, that was a fantastic search and destroy. We've now got Prodigy up by 2 in this series. We saw some very, very exciting plays from both sides of the board. You know, the mind game's in full effect, but